Hello, this is King Sir Raphael, and I'm coming to you guys once again with another speedrun tutorial. This time around, we're going to be going to the ancient battlefield, and we're going to be using one of my favorite team compositions known as Wildfire. But before we get into that, please make sure you like this video, also subscribe to the channel, and share this video so more content like this will be made in the near future. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at the boss mechanics for the boss in ancient battlefields. The boss mechanics in Ancient Battlefield is pretty simple but hard to master. The simplicity of this boss comes from him only utilizing 2 attacks. The first attack is a shield bash that does necrotic damage and hits your team 3 times while potentially removing all buffs from your team. And after the third strike, he ends up targeting the furthest hero in your team with a stun if by chance the attack hits successfully. The second attack is a high damage single target ability that targets the hero with the highest attack damage in your team. With these 2 cycled attacks, as well as the capabilities of being able to put attack and defense buff on itself and it being immune to control effects, it makes it pretty challenging to not only survive his attacks but also cause significant damage to the boss itself. With me fighting this boss, the boss taught me in a nutshell, sometimes your biggest defense is a very strong offense. Because of this, I developed a strategy to not only strip the boss from its buffs, but do stacked damage to the point where it's one-shotted before the boss even has a chance to respond again. On the other hand, if by chance after I've stacked my damage on the boss and it doesn't do enough damage to kill the boss's attack cycle will reset and the boss will respawn with his 2 attacks, wiping out my entire team. Therefore, you have to keep in mind that this strategy is a Cobra fight, with an element of chance due to the nature of my Wildfire team. With that being said, let's take a closer look at the team that I used to beat the boss in Ancient Battlefield in 17 seconds. And the first hero we're going to be looking at is my primary damage dealer, Flora. Flora is a single target wildfire type DPS that utilizes attack and derivative damage. When Flora utilizes her ultimate, she marks the target with an ability that accumulates damage over time by other wildfire allies. Once the timer for the damage accumulation expires, the accumulated damage will detonate and cause massive damage to the opposing target. Flora's damage mechanic is the primary reason why I'm able to one-shot the boss in rapid succession. The next hero we're going to be looking at is a single target hero known as Felicity. Felicity is a single target DPS/debuff hero that utilizes crit damage to maximize the damage output of the entire team. For when she uses her ultimate, she fires 5 beams, each dealing 150% of her attack as fire damage, with a 100% chance to inflict the target with a defense penalty. Moving on to our next hero, the next hero we're going to be looking at is the Wildfire damage dealer, known as Eric. Eric is a single target /AoE DPS hybrid. You would think that because Eric can do single target and AoE damage, that Eric would be more of a secondary damage dealer, but in truth, Eric is more like an offensive support. Even though Eric doesn't do as much damage as Flora, he does increase the damage output of Flora's ultimate, which makes him invaluable in the Wildfire team. Speaking of supports, we're moving on to our supports for our Wildfire team, and the first one we're looking at is Holdork. Holdork is an offensive Wildfire support that uses debuffs as well as buff removal. For when Holdork fires his ultimate, he fires a shot that removes all buffs for the target as well as reduces the target's attack gauge by 50%. Reducing the target's attack gauge will cause the target to be unable to trigger their abilities until later, giving me more time to inflict more damage before the target is able to respond. Moving on to our next support unit, our support unit is a rare hero known as Adolphus. Adolphus is a fire-type support defense hero that specializes in giving shields to the team. Adolphus's shield's integrity equates to about 10 to 15% of the target's max HP. Not only does the shield provide damage mitigation, but also if the target's already shielded, he will heal the target equal to 75% of the shield granted. And there you have it. This concludes my speedrun tutorial on the ancient battlefield. I would like to give a big shout out to the Dragonheir community for allowing me to make video content for you guys, as well as @Angel069 via TikTok for helping me create this video. For everything Dragonheir, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Kings3Raphael. Thank you guys so much. Hope to see you guys next time.